They need to really peel back how much a melee DPS can get to somebody at range. If you want to keep some kind of semblance of I'm melee and I have to be able to get in, increase their base move speed then. Like a warrior should not have 2 charges, period. A rogue should not have 2 shadow steps. A paladin should not have 2 divine steeds. The whole point of being ranged is to not be in melee. If melee can always get to you, then your class is pointless. Every class a melee class at that point, because when you have an RPG, much like Dungeons and Dragons, that uses, the Dungeons and Dragons archetypes, as WoW does, then you need to create a clear-cut weakness for each class. The benefit of playing a ranged class is that I can do damage from ranged, but the moment you get close, I can't do anything. I'm going to die. Casters have to speak to be able to cast. The fact that they have so many instant casts in their toolkit these days that do more damage than regular casts, or all the procs that give them these massive, super powerful instant casts. Well, what's the point of being a caster? They need to create these weaknesses, and then that's what people play around. It's like, hey, okay, cool. Let's create a composition that compensates for my character's weakness. My character's weakness is, if they get close to me, I'm going to die. So I need to have tools in my kit to prevent them from getting close to me. Whereas I shouldn't have tools in my kit. I shouldn't do as much damage, or I shouldn't be able to move around as much. If I'm super high mobile ranged, where I can run around like a hunter and just spam arcane shot, then yes, the damage needs to come down on those abilities, or at least they need to make it so that when you are running, you're doing half damage. So if you're standing still, then you're doing full damage. And the weakness to playing a warrior or a melee DPS is that you are melee. You have to get to your target to do the damage. If you can't get to your target, then you're going to die. However, if you do get to your target and they are ranged, you should have more tools in your kit to keep them there, to keep them near you. While some range classes like casters should have some ways to create space, they shouldn't have every way to create space. They shouldn't have 3 blinks, 4 blinks. They shouldn't have a ton of, they should still have to run. They're not like a mage in vanilla would have 1 blink and would also be able to root people who were in melee range to create its space. So it would root, and then it would have to run away from you, or it would blink and then it would be out its blink. It needed to create space so that it can speak its words to be able to cast its spell. You know what I'm saying? Blizzard has removed many of the weaknesses of classes. And now the weaknesses used to be a wide gap. It used to be this huge, all right, here's a glaring blind spot. This is this character's weakness. And they closed that to just this fraction of what it used to be. So now you have this extremely small window of opportunity to capitalize on its weakness. The kits are just completely overloaded these days. And that's kind of what's created the whole Zug mentality. It's just bad. Now warriors can still be frustrated because roots are their biggest weakness. Not stuns, not fears, not anything like that. Roots. However, roots break on damage. So roots are really only used to create space, and the moment you hit them, oh hey, they're charging again. And you have to set up your traps or you have to set up your roots between you and his charge to get his charge to end shortly. The point I'm trying to make is they need to, if they want to keep some fraction of melee being able to get to casters or get to people, increase their base move speed. Make it so that when they're running at you, they're running faster than you. Like, why not? Not a double charge, intervene charge, leap, spin, the whole fucking thing. They charge you, then that's it. That should be it. They can run a little bit faster than you when they get on you. So you need to find a way to control them so that you can get away. They also have a hamstring or a slow of some kind to keep you in place. I give a class its job and say, this is what you do. This is what you do. This is who you killed. This is how you're played. DKs, anti-mage. Awesome. They should never have a way to beat physical DPS at that point, because they shouldn't have any cooldowns at all that relate to physical DPS. Besides, their plate armor. Paladins, hybrid spellcaster. Make them do spell damage to ignore armor rating, but mostly be used for utility and being able to heal other players. Warriors. Nobody should be able to stand toe to toe to a warrior. A warrior is in your face and just beating the hell out of you. Okay, you're dead, dude. You need to use different things in your toolkit to beat that warrior. I mean, he's wearing plate mail using 2 giant fucking weapons. What are you gonna do, bud? Probably nothing. Rogues, another anti-mage, just a crowd control character with dots. Like, okay, that's your gameplay. Just be that person that does some crowd control. Don't have all the fucking damage in the world. Multiple shadow steps. Control the battlefield. Like, I'm not the greatest player, as you can tell if you've been watching me, but I mean, the toolkits are just completely overloaded, right? And I get it. 19 years of development on the same classes that you've been developing. Understandable. It's obviously there's going to be power creep, and on top of that, you're designing fights for PvE content because people are able to use weak auras. So they're like, oh, well, there's no guessing here, so we got to make the fight incredibly nonsensical. And then give players more tools so that they can deal with these nonsensical mechanics. It's just not getting into making World of Warcraft 2. Maybe Universe of Warcraft. World of Starcraft. Something. It just makes no sense. I guess what I'm saying is that every class needs to have its Achilles heel. Now, probably not so much so that they get nicked in it, then they fucking die. But they should have that glaring weakness to their character. Like they cannot handle this particular thing, so they have to rely on other classes in their group, because the game should not be balanced around the 1v1. It should be balanced around the 3v3. It needs to require that class to overcome its weaknesses by other players in its group.